Well, as you can see, it's a gloomy, rainy day here, and we won't be doing many outside activities. So that's why I'm very thankful I have a roof over my head and food on my table. And today, the video is not about any of that, but I've got Chase here that decided to prepare some pork ribs for us, and he's going to be putting them on the Traeger smoker that he purchased. And hopefully later this evening these things turn out delicious. And after we have the ribs, Autumn says she's making something here too. What are you making?
Chocolate chip cookies.
All right. All right, so if you saw my last video when I was working on the John Deere tractor here doing all the fluid and filter changes, you know that I've been out here in the garage and working, and I'll be honest with you, sometimes you have to make a mess, and some days it seems like you take every tool out to do the simplest of tasks. But with that being said, I know that a lot of people struggle with keeping their garage organized or maintained or even picked up. And that's kind of wanted to do a quick topic today on how to actually manage and maintain the mess that you create as you're working on projects in the garage. And I guess we'll start off by just doing the simplest of things first and starting to pick this stuff up. But the only way that keeping this managed and maintained is by having a place for everything. If you have a garage or a workshop and you don't have a spot, a designated place for something, it winds up getting moved. It might be over here one week and it might be over here the next week. It might be under the cupboard. Who knows where it'll end up? But the reality of it is if you don't have a spot, you will never be able to organize your garage. You'll never be able to keep it clean. You won't be able to be organized. So I guess today I'm just going to go through and do a quick video on picking all this tools up and maybe some brief explanations as we go along and how we put things away and where they go. Yep, still raining. All right, so we'll just forget about the rain for a little while and pretend that it's a nice sunny day out. But what I wanted to do was explain where this kind of all started was back about a year and a half, maybe close to 2 years now. I met a guy, and I guess I didn't realize that it was going to turn into a friendship. And he happened to have a YouTube channel, and I was kind of fascinated by that. I was watching YouTube one day and came across his channel and said, boy, that house looks familiar. The whole story is documented back in other videos. But anyhow, that was Adam from Hometown Acres. And about 10 months ago, we did a video here in the workshop on the garage organization and things that I've done over the years. And as you can see, it's a mess right now. Things have been used and things are laying around. And I just finished a project yesterday on the tractor. But kind of wanted to explain that, you know, over that 10 months, and I would have had no idea, but that video, and I'll link or I'll put a picture of it here, that video is over 1.1 million views in 10 months time, and there's over 20,000 likes on that video. I'm not sure how many comments are there as of today, but that sure has seen a lot of traction, and it sure was fun. And I really enjoyed doing it, and I thought, well, you know, maybe I could have Adam show me how to do this. And that's kind of how my channel has started from that, and it's a lot of garage stuff. A lot of outside stuff and doing things out there, but again, still raining. Not today. But so that video has been a lot of fun. Like I said, really enjoyed doing it, and have really enjoyed being in a lot of Adam's videos and doing some things over there. It's just enjoyable to be able to help and either share some knowledge or even learn some knowledge, learn some different things. And you know, I might be able to help somebody do a garage organization or how to keep things picked up, but I sure as heck didn't know how to do YouTube. Back to today's topic and the organization or picking and cleaning up of the garage. If you would, drop a comment. And how many of you basically just leave your garage as it is after you're done with the project, and then you sort through the tools on the benches and the carts and whatever, and work from there rather than working from the storage places they're supposed to be. So leave me a comment. Let me know. How do you leave your garage when you're done working on a project? Do you pick it up? And as there were thousands of comments saying that I had OCD, and no, it's not OCD. It is literally the best thing I've ever done for my workshop, my garage, and my lifestyle. Having a place for everything. And I would like to give you an example of, I'll be willing to bet that most of you do this, and why you can't do it in other areas of your house is beyond me. I don't understand why you wouldn't take what you know and apply it to everywhere in your house. So I referenced this in the garage video on Adam's channel, but I like to look at things as if, okay, if you do it in one place, why would you not do it in another place? And how many of you keep your silverware drawer looking like that? I would be willing to bet that not many of you do, because when you needed a fork or a spoon or whatever, that is so unorganized. But I can also bet you that there's some of you that's how you keep your toolbox drawers looking. Tools laying around in the top of the drawer, scattered all over. As you use it, you just throw it back in. So how would you ever know when something's missing out of that drawer? You wouldn't. So I guess let's go back to what most everybody I know, or at least anybody that's got two wits about themselves, how they would organize their silverware drawer, and why you would not do it with other things within your house, whether it be your toolboxes, whether it be your clothing, or kitchen utensils, anything. Just an example of, you do it here, why don't you do it elsewhere? Or is this how you keep your silverware drawer? There's a place for everything. Spoons, forks, knives, and so on. Now, if any one of your family members puts the spoon in the fork spot, kind of bugs you, or makes you wonder, okay, who just does not understand that that spoon belongs in the spoon side, not mixed with the forks? So the organization that you do in your silverware drawer is really just that simple. You have areas, you have spots, you have a place for everything. This is how your toolbox drawer should look. You can do this out in your garage, whether it be a silverware organizer, foam, or labels, or however you want to do it. But the reality of it is if you don't have it organized or a place for things, there's no way to keep it organized and know what you have. So when you come out in your garage, wouldn't it be nice to have your screwdriver drawer look as organized as your silverware drawer? I think that that's the only way to go. But again, that's just my personal opinion. The reality of it is I don't have to buy extra anything because it's organized. I know when it's missing, and if it's missing from here, I know to go look for it. If I can't find it, I keep looking because I know I had it. If you've got a drawer full of wrenches and sockets and pliers all stacked on top of each other, generally the first thing you'll do is, when you can't find it, is you go out and buy another one, and then another one, and another one. So having the organization throughout your workshop also helps you save money. Yeah, it takes some time, it takes a little bit of money to get this stuff organized, but you're not always going back and purchasing new tools because you've lost them. Breaking them is one thing, but losing them is another. The reality of it is if you keep the things organized, you know what's where and you know when it's missing. So that's what this video today is about, is putting your tools back, having a spot for them, and knowing where they go. And then when you open those drawers, you know what's missing and you know what to go look for. And it's generally a quick reminder of where you used that last. If you clean up on a daily basis, or if you clean up after each project, then it's much simpler to go back and find a missing tool that you used within the past day or two. And yeah, if you're not finished with the project, it is still worth doing a quick cleanup. And even if it's just laying tools on your workbench or organizing them back on a tool cart, not necessarily putting them away, but just organizing them, picking them up after you're done working on them for the day. Then it makes it easier to start the next project or restart back into the project you're currently working on. So let's go ahead and pick this up and get the garage looking back to clean again and ready for whatever the next project should wheel through that door. All right, we're going to start off with this tool cart. And we did a video on this tool cart over on Adam's channel, Hometown Acres. Go check it out if you haven't already. But one thing that I like about this tool cart is when I utilize it or use it, I can wheel it right to the piece of equipment or whatever I'm working on. And also when I'm done, I can wheel it right over to the toolbox, and it makes it pretty simple for putting away. So we'll start off with something simple like the sockets. Go ahead and start throwing these things in. I've got an itch I can't scratch, I'm missing a piece that completes a whole part of me, an open wound scar to see. Everybody come here, gather round, welcome to the freak show, the best in town. What the hell's wrong with me? I don't get along with anybody, honestly. I've been living in my own head constantly, thoughts jumbled around, think I need a new lobotomy. Wait, all these thoughts are too negative. I don't wanna get lost in the sedative. Gotta show them what I got, I'm competitive. You know I'm about to go off, I won't let them win, I'll take a stab. I wanna chase a bag, I wanna weigh, I can change all the things I lack. I gotta face the facts, I got a taste in that. Got me obsessed with the rest, I got an itch to scratch. All right, we got it all picked up and cleaned up, and as you can see, that didn't take too awful long. And now the workshop is ready for the next project. Or if I was still working on a project, I might have some of them still on the bench, or might be crazy, but I would even put some away because I just don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. Maybe it's another day of working on something, or maybe I've got to go outside and fix something, or who knows. But just a quick example of how easy and quickly it was to pick up and clean up. And now when I go to the toolbox, I can look in the drawer, and yes, these are in foam cutouts. I can see that there's nothing missing in there. I can go to my wrench drawers, and I can see that all the designated spots are filled. So I'm not missing anything there. And go to my screwdriver drawer, and nothing's missing in there. Like I said in the other video, if it's missing, it shows you right there that something is missing. And it makes it super easy to go find it if you keep your garage organized within a day or two of when you've done a project. And it doesn't even need to be tools. I do the same thing with my video gear for the YouTube stuff. And all this is a cheap Harbor Freight storage tote, and I've used it to put my video gear stuff in. So I've got the drone batteries. This is where the GoPro camera goes. My extra batteries, and I've even made a couple different rods that go into the bottom, they screw into the bottom of the side of the GoPro, and that's actually what I'm using right now to hold the camera. And I've made a spot on the side of the case where I can screw the 1/4-20 thread into. Holds them. Took a piece of PVC pipe, and that's where I keep my tripod. So when I want to go film off site out of the garage, I can close this thing up, pick it up, and I'm off. I've got everything I need to go do a video. You don't even need a toolbox. You can do it with old kitchen cabinets. I see those all the time on eBay and Amazon and Marketplace or whatever. But this old pantry cabinet is perfect for paints and lubricants and sprays and everything like that. Again, here's all my extra oils, things like that. And just, again, just a quick touch on picking this stuff up. There shouldn't be any excuse for not keeping your garage organized. If you're going to spend the money on tools, then you should spend money on finding a way to keep them without losing them, without them becoming missing, because your most costly is constantly buying new tools, constantly searching, constantly looking for that tool you knew you had 2 days ago but can't find it now. So when you pick up, you clean up and you organize and you put things away. I look in my Allen wrenches and I know that I used some, but I do just a quick look here and I know that every one of them has been put back. And hopefully in a future video, I'll go over this foam that I used in here for these cutouts. It's a cheap foam. It's not that expensive foam that they try to sell for 5S and all that. It's 2 layers of foam. It's I believe a closed cell foam, and the top layer is a 1/2 inch thick, and the bottom layer is a 1/4 inch thick. And why I did that is when you go in to trace out your tool to cut it out with your knife, it actually pokes through the bottom layer and allows you to get a nice clean cut on your top piece. So I got the foam at a place online, and it was the cheapest I found anywhere at the time, and it was called thefoamfactory.com. And if you guys want to go look there to see if you have any interest with doing foam cutouts, that's the first place I would look. Is, like I said, it's thefoamfactory.com. And I bought 2 large boxes of foam. They're 2 foot by 4 foot sheets of it. And I think I bought 10 or 15 of each sheet and used them in all the pertaining drawers. You know, things like these little socket for a impact gun. I made a cutout for those. And all I did there was cut halfway through the top layer of foam, cut that in half, and put it back in. And that's what gives me the height on that, that keeps that thing located, not sliding all around through the drawer, but at a good height for picking it up out. Now I know a lot of toolboxes and foam cutout places and all that, they cut these ugly little notches between each tool as a finger groove. Yeah, it might help get the tool out a little easier, but I've really never had a problem getting any tools out of any drawers with foam. I just think that if you're going to have a tool cutout, it should be the exact shape of the tool. It looks so much better, and it makes your drawer look so much better when you don't have a bunch of extra slots cut out. And for the sake of getting these out, literally just can push down on one end or the other, and it pops it up enough to get it out. I'm not concerned about the finger slots that they cut in those things. And here's another example I wanted to show you. The top layer is a 1/2 inch thick. The bottom layer is a 1/4 inch thick. When I cut out the screwdriver, this particular screwdriver, I set it on there, and I take a sharp little X-Acto knife and trace the outline and cut that out. And then I peel out the top piece of foam. And what I do for screwdrivers and even some wrenches is I take in that top 1/2 inch layer, I cut in half, and then put the top layer back in of just the screwdriver shaft itself. And what that does, what a lot of the bought-in foams or whatever don't give you that option to do, is it creates a raised up area that holds that screwdriver flat or flush across the toolbox, to where when it's laying in there the other way, it would be dipped down because of the depth of what the foam you took out. So that was just something that I found that really made the organization even look better, was to cut the tool end off and put half of it back in. And again, here's another example of a regular flat tip screwdriver, and I've just cut that in half, and I put it back in the half of the top layer, and then I can put the screwdriver right back in. And that's what keeps those all looking nice and level and organized. And again, if I can't say it loud enough, it isn't about the toolbox. It isn't about the number of toolboxes that you might have in your garage. If you're going to buy tools, then find a way to store those tools. Find a way to have them organized, and find a way that each one of them has their own spot. You won't have to buy extra tools. You won't have to search through drawers. They won't be missing. They won't become lost, because you will always know when something's missing. And again, you know, something as simple as the air tools or the clamps, the different things. Find a spot for that stuff, and that's where it always goes. And I talked in the other video, always keep your broom and dustpan in one location. Don't store that throughout the shop. Keep your cordless tools in a spot with something simple, and doesn't have to be PVC, but if you at least label them, you will know what's missing. Keeps them organized. When you're done, it makes it easy to put them back. Still kind of wet and rainy. Man, I wish you guys could smell that smoke. That smells good. Chase is the chef master here, and he's maintaining the cooking of the food today. Oh, and the chocolate chip cookies are done, and they're still warm. Well, we went from the garage workshop to organizing tools to pork ribs and mac and cheese on the smoker. I'll let you know how well they taste, because they sure do look darn good if you could only smell them. And thanks for cooking tonight, Chase.
Yeah.
And Lily. Well, I'm absolutely stuffed from the awesome ribs that my son made and the homemade mac and cheese that his girlfriend made for us for dinner tonight. I hope that I've given some inspiration or some food for thought on when you're working out in your garage or your workshop, and things or reasons to pick up and to have spots for everything. It makes life so much easier. If you create a space for things, then stuff doesn't get misplaced. You don't lose things. But again, if you like the video, give me a thumbs up, and I guess subscribe if you don't subscribe. And make sure you go back and check out Adam's channel there on Hometown Acres if you haven't seen the other videos that he's done over here in the garage. Like I said, we've got the one that's at 1.1 million and rising, and there's another one on the tool cart that we did. So again, thanks, and we'll see you again soon.